Most people would consider the day they win the lottery to be the luckiest day of their life. It can be a ticket out of debts or any financial setbacks, but sometimes the joy can lead to peculiar purchases. In this exploration of the most insane first purchases by lottery winners, we dive into the unexpected ways sudden wealth is spent. From extravagant whims to unconventional investments, these stories showcase the diverse and sometimes regrettable choices made at the peak of new money. Number 11. Debbie Mather set up her own fireworks factory. Debbie Mather's life changed dramatically on a fateful day in 2005 when she won a staggering $6.5 million in the lottery. Coming from a humble background as the daughter of a seamstress and a lorry driver, this win was more than just a financial boost. The win, which initially induced a nosebleed and panic attack, marked the beginning of a new chapter for Debbie and her son Peter. After spending a year traveling the world and addressing some chronic medical issues stemming from a fall, Debbie, a bookkeeper by trade, approached her new fortune with a practical mindset. She carefully planned how to use her winnings, allocating portions for family and friends, property investments, stocks and shares, and an intriguing personal venture. But what she actually used the money for was astounding. Debbie's decision to set up her own fireworks business was not just a financial investment, but also a nod to her desire to relive cherished childhood memories. With an investment of about $650,000, she embarked on this business journey, transforming a personal dream into a full-fledged business venture. This step was in line with the 15% of lottery winners who choose to start their own businesses, as noted by Camelot, the lottery operator. Although the business hasn't fully recouped its initial outlay, Debbie remains optimistic. She reflects on winning the lottery as nothing short of a miracle. This anecdote highlights how her lottery win allowed her to fulfill not just her financial goals, but personal dreams as well. Number 10. Sarah Cockings bought boob jobs for her and her sisters. In 2006, Sarah Cockings, then 21 years old, found herself in a life-changing situation when she won a substantial $3.8 million in the lottery. With this newfound wealth, Sarah made a decision that was both personal and generous. She decided to spend part of her winnings on plastic surgery for herself and her two sisters, Emma and Alex. This gesture of sisterly love cost her $12,500, but was a memorable way to share her fortune. Sarah, from Whitley Bay, Tyneside, became known for this unusual spending choice, humorously noting how people would often stop her in the street and ask, "Are those the lottery boobs?" Beyond the cosmetic procedures, Sarah's winnings also allowed her to make other significant purchases. She bought a house for her parents and treated herself to a Mini Cooper and Range Rover Sport, showcasing a blend of family-oriented and personal indulgences. After winning the lottery, Sarah interestingly went back to university. This shows she wanted to use her win not just for wealth, but also for personal growth and learning. Her story mixes surprising and usual elements, showing that lottery winners handle their new money in different ways. Her quote, "Just after I won, I bought my two sisters boob jobs. Everyone remembers that, but now I've had one myself because mine were wrecked by breastfeeding. It's my 2-year boob birthday. I love them," captures the blend of humor and candidness with which she approached her lottery win and its aftermath. Number 9. Keith Goff bought a racehorse. Keith Goff's story is a warning tale of how sudden wealth from the lottery can lead to unforeseen consequences. In June 2005, Goff, a former baker, and his wife Louise experienced a dramatic change in their lives when they won a massive $11.4 million jackpot in the UK lottery. However, this fortune, rather than bringing lasting happiness, ultimately contributed to a series of misfortunes for Goff. Goff's lottery winnings were spent grandly, with a significant portion of his fortune, amounting to about $250,000, being invested in a racehorse. This purchase was just one part of his grand spending spree. which also included fast cars and an executive box at Aston Villa. Unfortunately, these luxuries led him down a path of financial instability. 2 years after the win, Goff's life began to unravel. He separated from his wife of 25 years and started to struggle with alcoholism, a problem that became so severe that it required a stay at the Priory Rehabilitation Clinic in Birmingham. His life, which he once described as brilliant, became overshadowed by loneliness and sorrow. Goff's situation deteriorated to the point where he was living in his nephew's spare room, and his social life was reduced to lone walks in the Shropshire countryside. Reflecting on his situation, Goff once remarked to the News of the World, "My life was brilliant, but the lottery has ruined everything. What's the point of having money when it sends you to bed crying?" The lottery win also made him a target for conmen, with one scam costing him $890,000. Sadly, Goff's story ended in tragedy when he died at 58 of a suspected heart attack. Number 8. Evelyn Adams spent millions on poker. Evelyn Adams of New Jersey achieved what many would consider impossible, winning the lottery not just once, but twice. Her first stroke of luck came in 1985, followed by another win in 1986, amounting to a staggering $5.4 million. However, Adams' story is not about ongoing luck, but instead a warning about the dangers of gambling. Feeling encouraged by her extraordinary luck, Adams took her newfound wealth to the casinos of Atlantic City. There, she indulged heavily in poker and slot machines, under the belief that her lucky streak would continue. Unfortunately, this was not the case. Her gambling ventures led to a rapid decline in her financial situation. As of 2016, Adams' situation had taken a dramatic turn. The woman who once held millions was living in a trailer park, having lost all her lottery winnings to gambling. Number 7. David Copeland bought land on the moon. David Copeland's story as a lottery winner takes an odd turn from the usual tales of luxury. In 2000, Copeland won a significant sum of $1 million, but unlike many lottery winners, he chose a less traditional path for his winnings. Among his purchases, the most unusual was his decision to buy land on celestial bodies far from Earth: the Moon, Mars, and Venus. Despite his million-dollar win, Copeland maintained a surprisingly economical lifestyle. He continued to live modestly, even eating baked beans for dinner at his home in rural Hertfordshire. His down-to-earth approach to life is further evidenced by his current profession as a chauffeur, earning $28 an hour. This choice reflects his desire for a simple life, despite the financial freedom his lottery win afforded him. Copeland's purchase of land on the moon and other planets stands out as a quirky and imaginative use of his lottery fortune. It contrasts sharply with the more common lottery winner stories of lavish spending and rapid financial decline. His comment to The Sun, "Winning the lottery just gave me the freedom to choose what to do. I'm not full-time chauffeuring in. I've just been very sensible, as you can tell," encapsulates his practical approach to handling his winnings, prioritizing personal freedom and sensible living over luxury and excess. Number 6. Roger Griffiths tried to buy his way to the top of the charts. Roger Griffiths' lottery win story is a mix of high hopes and harsh realities. In 2005, Roger, alongside his wife Laura, won a massive $2.3 million, a moment that they believed would change their lives forever. However, what followed was a series of events that led to financial and personal loss. After the win, Roger pursued a long-held ambition to become a rock star. He invested in new guitars and dedicated himself to recording music with his band. Despite these efforts, their musical endeavor did not achieve the desired success, with their record reportedly selling only 600 copies. This attempt to break into the music industry was not just a financial drain, but also contributed to a shift in Roger's personal life. 6 years after the lottery win, Roger found himself in a dire financial situation, with Laura claiming he had only $9 in his account. Their story of luxury included spending on expensive cars and homes, although Laura claims that these expenditures were not as extravagant as reported. The financial strain was worsened by the 2008 financial crisis and their inability to manage their newfound wealth effectively. The couple's marriage eventually ended in divorce, with Roger moving out and their relationship turning sour. Laura claims to have discovered emails suggesting Roger was planning an affair, a claim he denies, saying he simply fell out of love. The divorce was finalized in 2013, marking the end of a rough period post-lottery win. Number 5. John and Linda Kuti built a water park. John and Linda Kuti's life took a dramatic turn in 2011 when they, as part of a syndicate, won a colossal $319 million Mega Millions jackpot. Their share of this fortune amounted to $28.7 million, a sum that would enable them to make a heartfelt and significant contribution to their community. They made a generous donation of $250,000 towards the construction of a water park in Main Street Park, located in their hometown of Green Island. This project was more than just a recreational facility. It was a tribute to John's and Linda's parents, Edmund Ostrowski, Gertrude Ostrowski, Joseph Kuti, and Mercedes Kuti. The emotional weight of this project for the couple was evident during the dedication of the spray pool. What makes their contribution even more remarkable is that it led to the construction of the park without any financial burden on the taxpayers. This was also made possible with the help of Albany Engineering Corporation and Grimm Building Materials, who provided their services without charge. This gesture by the Kutis is a shining example of how lottery winnings can be used for community betterment and to honor loved ones. Their decision reflects a deep sense of gratitude and a desire to give back, creating a legacy that extends beyond personal gain. Number 4. Jonathan Vargas invested in an all-female wrestling production. Jonathan Vargas's story is a unique chapter in the story of lottery winners, marked by a strange investment that quickly turned sour. In 2008, Vargas won a substantial Powerball jackpot of $35.3 million, a win that set the stage for an ambitious but ultimately ill-fated venture in the world of professional wrestling. Vargas founded Wrestlicious, an all-female wrestling promotion based in Tampa, Florida. The company's concept combined wrestling with sketch comedy, drawing comparisons to the earlier gorgeous ladies of wrestling. Despite its unique approach, Wrestlicious was unable to capture a lasting audience and was ranked number 11 on Bleacher Report's list of the 25 worst wrestling promotions in 2011. In March 2009, a trailer was released, and there were rumors of the show airing on the Fox network. However, the series, titled Wrestlicious Takedown, eventually settled for syndication, premiering in March 2010. Despite signing several new wrestlers in 2010 and taping new matches, the promotion didn't sustain momentum, and no new content was created after its inaugural season. Wrestlicious Takedown was the main television program produced by Vargas's company, airing on various networks, including Dish Network via MAV TV in the United States and Bite TV in Canada. The show featured segments like JV's Crib, giving viewers a glimpse into the supposed glamorous lifestyle at JV's mansion frequented by the Wrestlicious girls. Vargas himself appeared on the show as JV Rich. After only one season, Wrestlicious stopped production. Some wrestlers from the show later joined other wrestling companies like WWE and TNA Impact. However, the failure of Wrestlicious showed how tough and unpredictable the entertainment industry can be. Vargas's decision to invest his lottery winnings in this business also shows the dangers of getting into new and unstable areas like show business. Number 3. Ronnie Music Jr. trafficked meth. Ronnie Music Jr.'s lottery win story took a dark and illegal turn, illustrating how lottery fortune can lead to disastrous choices. In 2015, Music, then 45 years old, won a substantial $3 million from the Georgia lottery. Rather than using his win for positive life changes, Music made a decision that would eventually lead to his downfall. Music chose to enter the criminal underworld by investing a significant portion of his lottery winnings in a crystal methamphetamine, otherwise known as meth, trafficking ring. He used his lottery money to purchase large quantities of meth, which he then supplied to others for resale at a profit. This illegal venture was far from a low-key operation. Investigators eventually uncovered a plan to sell about 11 pounds of crystal meth, which had a street value of over $500,000. The gravity of Music's criminal activities was further highlighted by the discovery of more than $1 million worth of methamphetamine, firearms, thousands of rounds of ammunition, and $600,000 in cash. His involvement in drug trafficking and possession of firearms eventually led to federal drug trafficking and firearms charges. U.S. Attorney Ed Tarver, commenting on Music's case, stated, "Music decided to test his luck by sinking millions of dollars of lottery winnings into the purchase and sale of crystal meth." Tarver's statement highlighted the irony in Music's choice to invest his lottery winnings in such a high-risk and illegal venture, noting that, as a result of his unsound investment strategy, Music now faces decades in a federal prison. Ronnie Music Jr. pleaded guilty to these charges and awaited sentencing following a pre-sentence investigation by the state's probation office. Number 2. Bob Erb advocated marijuana legalization. In 2012, the Canadian pot activist's life took a remarkable turn when he won a massive $25 million after purchasing a lottery ticket en route to his father's funeral in Calgary. Erb's win came after a persistent 43-year habit of buying lottery tickets, a practice that eventually paid off in a substantial way. Rather than indulging in lavish spending or extravagant purchases, Erb chose to use a significant portion of his winnings to support a cause close to his heart: the legalization of marijuana. He directed $1 million of his lottery fortune towards 420 Day, an annual event that advocates for marijuana legalization. This contribution reflected not just his personal beliefs, but also his commitment to a cause he'd long supported. Number 1. Michael Carroll built his own racetrack in his backyard. Michael Carroll's lottery win at the age of 19 was nothing short of a fairy tale. Winning a massive $18 million, he quickly dove into a lifestyle of extreme luxury and extravagance. His first expense was the construction of a personal racetrack in his backyard. This racetrack was his childhood dream, and now that he had the money to fulfill it, he raced into it at full speed. Carroll's backyard racetrack became a central feature of his property and a very concrete manifestation of his jackpot win. However, this was just one aspect of Carroll's wide-ranging and unrestrained spending. His lifestyle spiraled into a series of expensive parties, luxurious purchases, and reckless behavior. Despite the initial excitement and glamour that came with his lottery fortune, Carroll's story took a turn for the worse. His wealth, once seemingly endless, started to fade as quickly as it had appeared. The high cost of maintaining such a lifestyle, coupled with his lack of financial acumen, led to a rapid depletion of his assets. Eventually, Carroll found himself in a dire financial situation. The once thriving racetrack in his backyard, which had been a hub of activity and a symbol of his wealth, stood only as a reminder of his financial downfall. From a multi-millionaire to being broke, Carroll's journey represents the brief nature of fortune, especially when it's not managed with a proper vision in mind. When it comes to the lottery, it's clear that a sudden windfall can lead to some truly unconventional choices. From personal racetracks to fireworks businesses, these stories remind us that with great wealth comes great temptation, and sometimes great responsibility. Whether it's indulging in long-held dreams, supporting loved ones, or diving into risky business ventures, these lottery winners show us that the first thing you buy can be as unpredictable as the lottery itself.